Hello. All right, in this video, we're going to talk about geometric transformations. Specifically, we're going to talk about the geometric transformation called the translation. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about what is the translation, and we're going to talk about how you actually perform a translation on a shape. And then we're going to work several examples. Some of those examples will be actually doing the translation. Other examples will be finding what translation was done on the shape. So, if we continue, first of all, we need to talk about what is a translation. Well, a translation is simply moving a shape around, left, right, up, or down. Now, if you watched my video on the overview of geometric transformations, do you remember our little spaceman? It's our little astronaut, okay? And a translation, we performed a translation on him. It's just moving shapes left, right, up, or down. So I'm going to translate this little astronaut up. We have just translated the astronaut up. Now we can move him down, side to side. These are all translations, just moving the shape around. Don't change its orientation, don't change its size, nothing. We're just moving it. So that brings us to, well, what properties are preserved? The figure retains its original shape, size, and orientation. It just moves to a new location. That's all we're doing to it, is we're moving it to a new location. And if you look at this example down here, we have this green arrow. This is our original. And we translate it down and to the right. And we get the image, the green arrow over here. All right, so that is what is a translation. So now we're going to go and we're going to work some examples. So actually translating shapes so that you get comfortable doing this. So on our first example, it says translate your triangle ABC. So A, B, C, 6 units up and 5 units left. What are the coordinates of the vertices for the triangle A prime, B prime, C prime? So this is an important notation. That prime there means that that's our image. That's the new figure. So we're going to look at this and we have A, B, and C. And we're going to do it just by counting first. So we want to go 6 units up, 5 units left. Okay. So every single one of these points, A, B, and C, we're going to move 6 units up and 5 units left. So B, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's 6 units up, but now we need to go 5 units left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and I'll erase our reference dot there. Okay, so that is going to be B prime. That's our new B point. Now let's do A. I'm going 6 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going 5 units left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So that is A prime. Alrighty. Now we just have C left. So we're going to go 6 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 5 units left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we draw our new image. Now I'm freehanding this, so it's not going to be exactly straight, but I'm going to do my best. There we go. A prime, B prime, C prime. So it wants to know what are the coordinates of the vertices for triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime. All right, well, let's write that down. We have A prime at, let's see, that's -2, 0. And we have B prime at 2, 3. And we have C prime at 3, -2. So those are our coordinates of our new image. So for translating these shapes, we can do it by counting. Perfectly valid method, 100% valid, if you have the graph. Or we can do it algebraically. So let's talk about that. If we wanted to do this algebraically, let me add in a new pen here. Use this color. And, okay, so we're going to use that color. So let's say our A, our original A point was at 3, -6. Okay, 3, negative 6. Now, when I moved 6 units up and 5 units left, the 6 units up, which direction did I go? Basically, was I going in the x direction or the y direction? Y being up and down, x being left or right. Well, 6 units up is in the y direction. So, what I'm actually doing here is I'm taking the original points and I'm adding 6 to their y value, and I'm subtracting 5 from the x value. So we can get all of these points just algebraically. So think about it. A was originally at 3, negative 6. Well, when we did our counting, we got it over to negative 2, 0. Well, let's see if that matches up. So we're going to 3 minus 5, that's negative 2. And then we're going to do negative 6 plus 6, well, that's 0. So we get to the same spot. So we can do this algebraically, or we can do it by counting. Let's do it with B. Let's check our B. Let's make sure we counted correctly. So let's say we had 7, negative 3. Okay, well 7 minus 5, x minus 5, gives us 2. That's correct. Negative 3 plus 6, well, that gives us 3. So that's also correct. So we're good on B. Look at C. C was at 8, negative 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. So our C point also matches up. So you see, yeah, we just talked about C. Okay, sorry. So you can tell now that we can count and get our new shape, or we can just algebraically calculate what our new vertices are going to be, graph those new points, and then draw the lines between them, and you should have the same shape. So let's do another practice on finding the vertices algebraically. So on this one, we are given a shape with vertices at 0, 0, 3, negative 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 5, 0, and negative 3, negative 5. Okay, that's a lot. We want to translate this image 3 units up and 5 units left. And then we want to know what are the vertices of our image. So what are all the new points? Well, let's talk about that. If we are translating the image 3 units up and 5 units left, let's see, 3 units up, okay, up and down, that's talking to the y. 5 units left, that's talking to the x. So we're going to take x, we're going left, that's minus 5. And this is going to be y, we're going 3 units up, so it's going to be our y coordinate plus 3. All right, so let's calculate what these new vertices are going to be then. So A prime is going to be 0, minus 5, comma, 0, plus 3. Or negative 5, comma, 3. So our new point is going to be at negative 5, comma, 3. All right. What about B prime? We're going to do the same thing. 3 minus 5, comma, negative 3 plus 3. 3 minus 5, negative 2. Negative 3 plus 3, 0. We're going to do the same thing with C. We have C prime is negative 1 minus 5, comma, negative 2 plus 3. And we're going to have negative 1 minus 5, negative 6, comma, negative 2 plus 3 is 1. All right, go ahead and calculate D prime and F prime on your own. What are we going to have? You can pause the video and figure it out. All right, so I assume you tried it. D prime is going to be negative 5 minus 5, comma, 0 plus 3. So we're going to get negative 10, comma, 3. And then we have F prime, negative 3 minus 5, comma, negative 5 plus 3. So we're going to get negative 8, negative 2. So those are our vertices. This is A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, and F prime. Now if they asked us to graph it, we could throw some graph paper on here, just graph these points, draw the lines between them, and we'd have our new image. Okay, let's try another one. This one they're going to have us graph it. So it says you are given a rectangle with vertices at these points, 0, 0, 5, -3, 0, -3, and 5, 0. Okay, now look at this. They give you A, C, D, and B. I formatted this problem like this on purpose. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph these. We have 0, 0, and 5, -3, 0, -3, and 5, 0. Okay, now this is A, B, C, and D. So what I wanted you to figure out from this is to really pay attention to what label your point has. So it'd be very tempting to, when we put the second point down here, 5, -3, to label that as B, but it's not labeled B, it's labeled C for our problem. So just pay attention to these details and be very careful. All right, so I'm going to draw a line between all of them, and I have a rectangle. Okay, I want to translate the image 2 units down and 5 units left. Okay, so what is that physically telling me to do to my x and y? Well, 5 units left, x -5, 2 units down, y -2. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate all these first. So I'm going to have A prime, and I'm going to do 0 -5, -5, and 0 -2, -2. And then I'm going to have C prime at 5 -5, 0, -3 -2, -5, and D prime at 0 -5, -5, and -3 -2, -5. And now I'm going to have B prime at 5 -5, 0, and 0 -2, -2. Okay, so I've algebraically calculated these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the counting method on the graph and then compare the vertices that I get on the graph with the vertices that I algebraically figured out and make sure that they match. Okay, so let's try that. So let's count. A, we want to go over 5 down 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Okay, there's my A prime. B, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2, 1, 2. D, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2, 1, 2. And C, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So I have B prime, B prime, C prime. Go ahead and draw our rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to compare the coordinates of the vertices. All right, so A, I have it -5, -2. That one matches up. C, I have 0, -5. That one matches. D, I have it -5, -5. That one matches. And B, I have 0, -2. So that one also matches. So we could do this algebraically and graphically. Okay, so what if they already give us the translation? So now we need to figure out, well, how was it translated? So what you're going to do for this kind of problem is you're going to pick, basically you're going to go point by point. So let's start at F. We're going to go down 1, 2. That's not an easy color to see. Hold on. Use a different color. Use orange. That one's easy. All right, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've gone down 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've gone right 7. All right, so that's F. Now let's try K. Let's make sure that 1, we counted correctly, and 2, let's make sure that all the other points have been translated the same amount. Because if they haven't been translated the same amount, then you don't have a translation here. This has been translated, but let's make sure that they did it right. So, from K to K prime, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right 7. Okay, so K is correct. What about G? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right 7. Okay, so this image, figure, FGK, has been translated 8 units down and 7 units right. So we've been writing this in kind of an X, Y format. So what did we do to the X value of all of these points? Well, we went right 7. So we added 7. And we went down 8. So on the Y coordinate, we went down 8, which means we did minus 8. So we've gone down 8, right 7, or X plus 7, comma, Y minus 8. Hope that this answers any questions you've had about translations. If you have any more questions, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where we'll have much more videos on this subject. And you can visit my website and go to the Contact Me page, submit your question on the submission form, and I will be happy to get back to you.